Good morning, folks. Slightly Slanted Sleuth coming at you from Oakdale, Minnesota. This is a video I just recorded. I don't know if there's anything in it. I just want to use it to convey a message. And the message is this. Okay, for some reason this black hole thing's just been nagging at me. Like, I can't get it out of my mind. Not like I'm scared to go down a drain or nothing, but like it's just there and it won't let me go. And I don't mean that as a pun either or anything. Okay, then to me spoke he, the master. Know ye, O Thoth, in the beginning there was a void and nothingness, a timeless, spaceless nothingness, and into nothingness came a thought, purposeful, all-pervading, and it filled the void. There existed no matter, only force, a movement, a vortex, or vibration of the purposeful thought that filled the void. Now, this essentially is explaining pre-black hole. Okay? Stay with me here. And the reason why I say that is because recently I heard on a National Geographic How the Universe Works show. You know, I don't really know any other science but what we've been taught. So, and I know now that not to pay attention to everything they say. Just pick out the things that resonate and then, you know, latch onto them like a bloodhound on a freaking, you know, on a scent of a criminal or whatever. You know, I don't know. But it's just amazing to me what has been happening to me lately. And I attribute it to staring into the sun, believe it or not. And I'm not trying to tell you to stare at the sun or nothing, because, you know, I don't want you to go blind. But there's certain times when recently where I'm not kidding, people. Okay? And maybe it's this that's ringing true, waking me up. The words in this book, you know what I mean? And I'm not kidding, folks. I've never read more than one book in my life. And I'm not kidding. From front to cover, one book, and it was a deer hunting book. Okay? Now, I'm not stupid, but I just never got into reading. And this book right here, I haven't even made it past the 13th tablet, because so much of this I've been writing in the book, you know, and correlating what I see in my reality, what I know the words to be, and trying to figure out what that means by these words. And it's just, this is amazing to me how this is plugging in. And here's the next level of it. And I questioned the master, saying, was this thought eternal? And answered me the dweller, saying, in the beginning there was eternal thought. And for thought to be eternal, time must exist. So into all pervading thought grew the law of time. Time which exists through all space, flowing in a smooth and rhythmic movement that is eternal in a state of fixation. Time changes not, but all things change in time. For time is the force that holds events separate, each in its proper place. Time is not in motion, but ye move through time, as your consciousness moves from one event to another. By time ye exist, all in all, an eternal one existence, the singularity of a black hole. Know ye that even though in time ye are separate, that's the tears of the black hole, yet still are ye one in all time existent. Ceased then the voice of the dweller, and departed I to ponder on time. For knew I that in those words that he spoke to me lay wisdom, and a way to explore the mysteries of time. That was the formation of a black hole. And then I got goosebumps from head to toe, and the biggest smile on my face right now. It's just crazy. state of fixation, flowing in a smooth and rhythmic movement that is eternally in a state of fixation. If one thing I believe that, you know, whatever's hidden from us, I believe now that it's us that hides it from us because we have to. This right here is so over the top, mind-blowing for me. But it's yet so, I mean, I just feel so giddy about it. Because I'm not even going to say it. But I'll tell you at the end. Oft did I ponder the words of the dweller, then sought I to solve the mystery of time. And I kind of feel like that right now. You know, I'm trying to solve this now. And it's all connected. It's just amazing. Found I that time moves through strange angles, yet only by curves could I hope to retain the key. Now, do you understand that? Time moves in strange angles, okay? That's like the constellation angles, you know what I mean? Or you know, you connect a dot to a dot, and then you connect another dot to a dot, right? A dot to dot. Well, what changes that? If everything that goes through a black hole, what changes that? Changes it to curves, no matter what. It's always a curve. So that is after a black hole is formed. Hope to attain the key that would give me access to the time space. Found I that only by moving upward and yet again moving to rightward could I be free from the time of this movement. So my question here is, this is where, you know, my feeling like I know what it is changes, because it still attributes what he's saying to you know, he's still talking about a black hole essentially. And a black hole moves in one direction in all space, I believe. I believe it all moves clockwise. I believe that's why our clock goes that way. Okay? I'm trying to think this out and talk to you guys at the same time, because I want you to experience exactly how I'm thinking. I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything supernatural. That's what I'm trying to get at here. If you immerse yourself in this, and it's the knowledge that we all seek, and you know, this is the ultimate question. And I don't know if everybody agrees with me on that, but, and I'm not trying to be almighty, and I'm not trying to be righteous. I'm not trying to be none of that. I'm trying to figure this out, as my name implies. Okay, and then, so I'm a little confused on, you know, because I don't know exactly what that means, but, you know, a black hole does turn in one direction. Okay, and and here's another thing. The Milky Way galaxy has a bar in it, in the middle of it. You know, there's a black hole there. You know, just like I said, the pineal gland of us correlates and that's what the golden spiral is. It's the placement where. You know, it's to where to place whatever device crystal, that's the nexus point of whatever energy of everything in creation, because it's all got the golden mean in it, the golden spiral, the Fibonacci sequence, you know, and that's the number 1 point. I'm gonna read up on that, because every time I come to that description, that I fall short, so I apologize for that. But I don't know everything, and I just want to get you know, I just want to get this out, because my tendency is to not really put as much weight on things, because I'm so busy in my head trying to get past the next thing, because right now I feel so plugged into everything. It's just, it's insane to me, and I want to share it with you folks, and I appreciate those who are following me faithfully and paying attention, and hopefully on the same road as me, because this is just, I've been back and forth on the God thing. I've been, you know, it's just amazing to me how the divine works and how it's speaking to me right now. I mean, I feel like crying. That's how overjoyed I am. Forth I came from out of my body, moved in the movements that changed me in time. Strange were the sights I saw in my journeys, many the mysteries that opened to view. I saw man's beginning, learned from the past that nothing is new. Why is that? Because he's describing the matrix mixer, the recycler. Okay? Now listen to this. This is the next part of it. Seek ye, O man, to learn the pathway that leads through the spaces that are formed forth in time. Seek ye, O man, to learn the pathway that leads through the spaces that are formed forth in time. Forget not, O man, with all of thy seeking, that light is the goal. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop right there just to point the fact out that even though a black hole is a black hole, the brightest of lights shine from it. That is what comes from the Trapezium open star cluster, it's called, in Orion's nebula. And oddly enough, every one of them... oh my god, I just made another correlation. This is just insane, folks. Okay, now listen to this. The Trapezium star cluster is an open star cluster. I'll go to my thing right now just so I can prove it to you guys. Okay, here we got the Orion cluster. Or, you know, the Orion, the constellation Orion, right? There's our faithful man. Okay? Is it coincidence it's in the form of a man? You know, is it a coincidence that he's the hero? No, because that's why we aspire to be heroes. That's why we aspire to be first. That's why we aspire, because we want to help. We inherently want to better mankind, because mankind is this constellation is us. This is our miniature galaxy, so to speak. Our solar system, and whatever solar systems are caught up in the web of this matrix, because this is our matrix right here. We're connected to this constellation. So I bet you every single one of these other constellations are connected to another house, another species, another, you know, either nefarious or benevolent being. And it's crazy. There's just, I mean, I'm glad that whoever's stuck with me this far and watching this and experiencing this with me, you know, I'm glad you have. And I appreciate every one of you who have watched the video, even if you haven't been one that watches my videos all the time. Okay? We're going to go to the Trapezium now. Which, by the way, of course, is... you're gonna be floored, folks. It's just, look at it. It won't stay on, fixed on it. You know, I'm fixed on it. Why don't I stay fixed on it? Because it's in a black hole. And it's, you know, this is part of the algorithm. Because you want to know why I say algorithm? Look at what every one of the damn stars is. Look at it. Zeros and ones. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, it's just incredible. I'm sorry if I sound stupid or retarded or way overexcited right now. But I mean, it's just incredible. This is just the most insane thing I think I could ever hope to be a part of. Because you know what? Insane is exciting. Look at it. What is it shaped as, folks? A cross with a freaking circle in it. That's our pineal gland, too. The correlation is if you put our brain sideways, you know, you turn this or whatever, and you put our brain, it shows the optic cortex, which is that thing on top. It shows everything, folks. Everything. And where I was just showing you, the trapezium is where? In the center of the brain. In the center of the brain, folks. Okay? And it's forming this symbol. The biggest known symbol in our world. Whether you're... Whether you're Christian or not, you still know that symbol. Okay, Trapezium open star cluster. Now, I just went over that, and I got way overexcited, so I had to pause the video and, control my emotion, contain it. Okay, here we go. And you know what? I'm not done with my epiphany for the day. I'm almost done, but this is the next very, very, very crucial thing for me. Seek ye, O man, to learn the pathway that leads through the spaces that are formed forth in time. Going through the black hole, and the tiers of which are 9 in our existence. Okay, there's 14 below, or 7 above and 14 below. That's the 7 lords of the cycles, the 7 lords that are the main stars of this constellation. Okay, there's 7 main stars in this constellation, and that's the 7 lords of the cycles. Okay, and did you see there was a 5th one in the trapezium? You know, and I think the 5th one is the lord of the cycles in here. Because 3 is the key. There's an extra one. You know? See that? There's 5. And we all know God number's 4. Right? So there's one extra. It's the binary right here. The one at the tip, at the top. So it shows you that, it shows you and tells you the numbers in the tablets. That's what it is. That's what it is, folks. I can't believe it. I thank you, Lord. Thank you. All thank you us. Thank you, everybody. You know what? Because we all did this. Whoever's on the same level as me right now, you contributed to this. Because it comes through us all. We're all connected. We're all one. One for one, one for one. And watch this. I pointed this out last time, but I'm just going to point this out again. Magnitude 4. Okay? They're all zeros and ones. But they're all magnitude 4. One for one, one for one. Come on, man. I mean, everything is just nuts. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, 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 crazy. And what if this 2 Orion over here, what if that's the demiurge right here? What if this one's the demiurge? That's why it always gets beat, because it's, what if that is? Kind of weird, huh? Or what if that's the portal from the portal? In that line. After you go through the recycler. Because the theoretical physicists lately have said that if you were to take an encyclopedia, throw it into a black hole, it's theorized, that information does not ever get destroyed. And I don't know where they come up with these things where they hang their hats on, or or whatever, but I'm gonna go with it because it fits my my hypothesis or my theory. But anyway, that information just gets scattered on the surface of it. It's jumbled up. That explains all the misnomers in the movies. Luke, I am your father. C-3PO's leg. I stated this in the last video, but it got withheld from the video. So I got to shorten this video. I got to keep it short, otherwise my bandwidth won't handle the upload. So with that, folks, I'm going to say, hey, this is the all-seeing eye. It's us. Oh, no, wait. Forgot not, O man, with all of thy seeking, that light is the goal. Ye shall seek to attain. Forget not, O man, with all of thy seeking, that light is the goal ye shall seek to attain. Search ye ever for light in thy pathway, and ever for thee the goal shall endure. Let not thine heart turn ever to darkness. Light let thine soul be, a sun on the way. Light let thine soul be, a sun on the way. S-U-N, sun. Every time sun is spoken in this book, it's not S-O-N, it's sun. The sun. Soul, sun. And there's no coincidence to that either. In words are meanings. You will find everything in the word. Thoth states it over and over in this book. He said, in thee is the word, and the fire is the word. So the word is the fire, and the fire is the word. The cause and effect, as above, so below. It all plugs into each other. I mean, it's amazing how this matrix, the divine matrix, is, it's a matrix, but it's an understatement. The divine matrix, because if anything, that's where the 3D printing comes in, folks, probably. I mean, this is just way over the top nuts, and it's just unfathomable. Beyond fathoming, or beyond my scope of even, just like, wow. 2 years ago, I was like, how am I going to pay my bills? And that's all I cared about. And watching stupid football games. It was a little longer than that now, 3 years, but. Search ye ever for light on thy pathway, ever to darkness. Let thine soul be a sun on the way. Sun on the way. Know ye that in the eternal brightness ye shall ever find thy soul hid in light. Never fettered by bondage to darkness, ever it shines forth a sun of the light. This phenomena turns us into stars, folks. This is where stars are born. In the Orion Nebula in our neighborhood, the closest one to us. This is where stars are born. I will go find you an article here. I'm going to pause here for a second. Stick with me. Oh, and before I do that, I just wanted to point out, I'm backing out of my solar system universe map or whatever, and I'm looking. I'm like, what the heck? And I see Arcturus Sirius. You know what I mean? Are you serious? Seriously, Arcturus Sirius, Canopus Rigocanteris. What the heck? Okay. Although I believe that God dwells in our hearts, I also believe that he has a physical throne in the heavenly sanctuary. The Bible is always talking about types of and antitypes, symbols and meanings, objects, object lessons, as above, so below. Okay, the Bible, thought, everything. And I agree with that. And references and identifying description of God's throne are found in Job 26:9, Job 22:12 through 14, and Revelation 4:1 through 3. Some people believe that the Orion Nebula seems to fit the description of the emerald-tinted cloud mentioned in the last text. Emerald-tinted cloud, that's kind of odd. Depends on your translation, and is located behind the dark cloud of the nebula. Since the word nebula means, I didn't know this, cloud, read the text just mentioned using the word nebula instead of the word cloud. And is it coincidence that we're storing everything in cloud servers now? Is it? Or is this divine? You know what I mean? Or is it their way to convince us it is? Is this, if this is correct, location for the physical throne of God of heaven, it is approximately 1,500 light years away. What is 1,500 years compared to a prayer answered within an hour, which Daniel experienced? This is faster and far faster than the speed of light, which, that's what I'm saying. Which about people who pray, what about people who pray for help and are instantly given the strength to lift a car off of someone, or of those who are saved from a fatal tragedy? And I've been in that circumstance. I've died, and I've always felt that there was a higher being, and I didn't want to buy into the dogmatic practices of our religious establishments. So I thought I was a rebel against God, when in fact it was a rebel against the established religious establishments. Daniel, when the angel Gabriel answered Daniel's prayer while he was yet praying, he evidently came from heaven to earth, transformed into a form of a man in much less time that it would take ordinary light to travel. at that same distance. Now, that is if God's throne is located with the great Orion Nebula complex, as many poets, Christians, astronomers, researchers seem to believe. Okay, now, right there, I'm going to stop and I'm going to correct this person. You know, even though they have no right to defend their point of view. But recently, I've shown you that in the Vatican in Rome, in there's a painting that Michelangelo did. It's called The Creation of Adam. And it shows a heroic figure, Adam, you know, and all these people and beings behind him, okay? In the outline of it on, you know, the backdrop or the matting that the figures are painted upon is in the form of a brain sideways, profile perspective. Now, you turn the Orion Nebula from the perspective of my app, and you turn it, which I don't know if it's possible to do but I mean, from a Hubble image, Daniel Wilton proved that the overlay matches exactly to that, a brain, and the nebula, the highlights of it and the shape of it, down to the last little intricate details of the brain and the bumps inside, you know, on the edges when you look at a brain outside of our skull and you see it. Okay, so we're connected to the pineal gland of that brain. And that pineal gland, folks, is where when you put the golden spiral there, at the beginning, the central point of that Fibonacci spiral, when all the numbers line up with the dimension, I don't mean that literally, but I mean the dimensions of, you know, when you size it, plug that golden spiral in, Fibonacci spiral, and it's always at the same spot. Our brain and the nebula and the pyramids and everything. Everything, folks. Everything. Everything that is God's creation is our creation. Okay? And I've shown you that the stars in the trapezium, is that another play on words? Trapezium. You know, trapsomesium. You know what I mean? It's the easy trap. So the soul trap theory is right. But this is the star former. This is where the stars are formed, folks. This is we as energy are recycled and burst into stars. Once we get it. We have to get it. We have to go into that recycler knowing in our hearts of hearts that we're right. So maybe all of this isn't making sense to you, but to me, it's like, it's everything. You know what I mean by that? It's my reality. It's my perceived reality. And I believe the correlations are, I could point them out all day. And now we're figuring out that it's the star former. That's where the stars are formed. Just in 2012, they found the black hole, the intermediate black hole, in Orion's nebula in the Trapezium cluster, the open star cluster. And is it a coincidence that star cluster, you know, makes a cross and a circle in the middle? The Celtic cross. Is it coincidence? Is that what you're going to hang your head on? Coincidence? I love you all. Love, peace, chicken grease.